speech is a powerful reminder for anyone who feels taken for granted, constantly giving without receiving, and losing themselves in the process. It speaks to those who have been treated like a convenience rather than a person, offering clarity and strength to reclaim their worth. The message is clear. You are not here to be used. You are here to live with purpose, protect your energy, and stand in your power. Let this be the moment you stop being a tool for others and start becoming the force you were always meant to be. Ladies and gentlemen, the world will take from you what you allow. It will drain your time, your kindness, your energy, not because you are weak, but because you haven't drawn the line. People often say, be helpful, be generous. And yes, you should, but not at the cost of your dignity. There's a fine line between being of service and being used. If you never say no, you become a tool, not a human being. And let me tell you, tools get replaced. You see, many people will come into your life with smiles and sweet words. They'll say, we need you. We can't do this without you. But pay close attention. Is it partnership they want or convenience? Don't let your loyalty become a leash. You must ask yourself every day, am I being respected or just tolerated? Am I growing or am I only giving? If you are the only one showing up, the only one putting in effort, the only one making sacrifices, that's not a relationship. That's a transaction. And transactions end when the service is no longer needed. Listen to me. You are not a resource to be mined. You are a force to be reckoned with. You have skills, passion, and a purpose. Protect that. Nurture that. You can say no without being selfish. You can walk away without being rude. In fact, sometimes walking away is the most powerful thing you can do. People may say, you've changed, and that's okay. You're not supposed to stay the same. You're supposed to grow. When you outgrow a space where you were once used, leave it. Don't feel guilty. Life is short, and energy is not unlimited. Give where your heart is valued, not where your soul is drained. You're not here to be used. You are here to build, to lead, to shine, not to serve someone else's laziness or lack of vision. Loyalty is a beautiful thing. It's rare, it's powerful, and it speaks volumes about your character. But when loyalty is given to the wrong people, it becomes a weapon used against you. Many people suffer not because they lack love or kindness, but because they don't understand where to draw the line. When you keep showing up for people who never show up for you, that's not loyalty. That's self-neglect. There is a difference between being loyal and being taken for granted. And if you don't protect your boundaries, people will keep taking from you until you have nothing left. In life, you will meet people who will praise your loyalty, but what they really admire is your silence while they use you. They admire that you say yes even when you want to say no. They admire that you stay even when you feel disrespected. But let me ask you, how long will you keep giving your energy to those who only remember you when they need something? How long will you keep breaking yourself to keep someone else comfortable? People will test your limits, not because they are evil, but because they want to see how far they can go. If you don't speak up, they will assume you're okay with it. If you don't say enough, they will keep expecting more. And eventually, they won't see your loyalty as a gift. They'll see it as your role. They'll expect it like it's your job. The moment you stop, they'll act like you've betrayed them, when all you did was protect yourself. You must understand, boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are doors to guide the right people in. When you set boundaries, you are not being rude. You are being clear about your worth. Or telling the world, I know what I bring to the table, and I won't let anyone treat me like I'm disposable. You don't need to yell. You don't need to argue. You just need to act. Stop picking up the phone for people who only call you when they want something. Stop rearranging your schedule for people who never consider your time. Stop apologizing for putting yourself first. Respect is not demanded with words. It's taught by action. The way you let people treat you teaches them how to continue. If you tolerate being used, they'll use you more. If you keep giving second chances without change, they'll stop trying to change. So ask yourself, are you being loyal to someone who would never do the same for you? Are you loyal to someone who disappears when you need them the most? Too often, people stay in toxic situations out of fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of judgment. Fear of losing someone they care about. But nothing is worth losing yourself. You were not born to be someone's emotional punching bag. You were not created to constantly fixate or serve someone who wouldn't lift a finger for you. You are not a machine. You're not a tool. You are a human being, and your loyalty should be matched with respect, care, and effort. Don't confuse being needed with being valued. Some people keep you around because they know you'll say yes. They know you'll show up. But would they do the same if the roles were reversed? That's the real test. If someone benefits from your presence, but contributes nothing to your peace, your growth, or your happiness, it's time to question why you keep them in your life. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow. Let that sink in. The more you say yes out of guilt, the more they learn that guilt works. The more you avoid conflict, the more they push your limits. Sooner or later, you must realize that peace is more important than pleasing everyone. Self-respect is more important than fake loyalty. It's okay to walk away from people who don't appreciate you. It's okay to protect your heart, your time, your space. It's okay to be loyal to yourself first. That doesn't make you selfish. It's you wise. People who truly love you will respect your boundaries. They won't test you. They'll support you. They won't guilt you. They'll grow with you. So don't let them use you. Don't let your kindness become your weakness. Don't let your loyalty become a cage. Know your worth. Protect it. Live it. You owe that to yourself. If effort is one-sided, it's not respect. It's exploitation. Many people confuse giving endlessly with being strong, with being kind, with being loyal. But the truth is, when you're the only one trying, the only one showing up, the only one making sacrifices, you're not being respected. You're being used. Life isn't meant to be lived in imbalance. Relationships, whether personal or emotional, should be mutual. When the scales always tip in their favor and never yours, it's not a partnership. It's a drain. People will take everything from you if you let them. Your time, your energy, your kindness, even your identity. They'll say things to keep you where you are. You're the only one who understands me. No one else would do what you do. I don't know what I'd do without you. It sounds like appreciation, but often it's manipulation in disguise. Because behind those words, there's no action to back them. They don't change. They don't give back. They just keep receiving. But you keep emptying yourself. You weren't born to be a constant giver to people who only know how to take. Being available all the time doesn't make you strong. It makes you a target. You give thinking they'll eventually see your worth, thinking they'll match your energy, thinking they'll change. But if someone truly respects you, you won't have to keep proving your value. It will be recognized and returned without begging, without reminders, without conditions. One-sided effort is a slow kind of pain. It wears you down inside. You stop compromising your needs, your goals, your mental health. You show up tired, emotionally drained, and sometimes even resentful. But still, you show up. You keep pouring into a cup that's never meant to pour back into yours. And slowly, you lose pieces of yourself. You forget what it feels like to be supported, to be loved and returned, to be cared for without having to earn it every single time. But the problem isn't just then. It's what you allow. You allow it when you stay silent. You allow it when you make excuses for the lack of effort. You allow it every time you choose peace over your own needs. You're teaching them that your boundaries are flexible, that your energy is free, that your time is endless. And once they learn that, they will never stop taking. Not because they hate you, but because they've learned that using you works. Let's be honest, you deserve more. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be chosen. Not when it's convenient, but consistently. You deserve someone who matches your energy, who doesn't make you feel like you're too much for wanting the same effort you give. You are not hard to love. You're just loving the wrong people. You only take and never give. Stop settling for crumbs when you offer a feast. Stop lowering your standards so others can meet you where they are. If someone really wanted to, they would. And if they don't, their silence is their answer. Their absence in your hard moments, their excuses, their broken promises, that's all the clarity you need. There comes a point where you have to stop explaining yourself. Stop asking for what should be basic. You shouldn't have to beg for effort, for honesty, for time, for love. You are not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong person. And no matter how much you care, how much history you share, how much you wanted to work, one-sided effort will never create a healthy bond. So what do? You choose yourself. You choose peace over chaos, respect over attention, growth over comfort. Pull back your energy, your time, your heart, not out of bitterness, but out of wisdom. You don't owe loyalty to someone who drains you. You owe loyalty to the version of yourself that's still waiting to be protected, still waiting to be seen, still waiting to feel whole again. Let go of the idea that effort should only flow from you. The people who are meant for you will show up for you, not just in words, but in action. They'll match consistency. They'll notice when you're not okay. They won't let you carry everything alone. They'll meet you halfway, not because they have to, but because they want to. That's what respect looks like. That's what balance feels like. That's what you deserve. Don't let them use you. Don't let your loneliness or hope keep you in places where you're undervalued. You are allowed to walk away from anything that weighs you down more than it lifts you up. You're allowed to stop giving to those who give you nothing. And most of all, you're allowed to love yourself enough to choose better. Effort should never be a one-way street. When it is, it stops being effort and becomes exploitation. And you were never meant to be used. You were meant to be respected, appreciated, and valued. Never forget that. Saying no is not selfish. It's self-respect. This is something many people struggle to understand because we live in a world that praises constant availability. You're expected to say yes to every request, every favor, every opportunity, even when it comes at the expense of your peace, your time, your energy. The fear of being called difficult, rude, or selfish keeps you saying yes, but your soul is screaming no. But let me tell you this. You are not here to be everything for everyone. You are not here to please others at the cost of losing yourself. People will test your boundaries, not because they don't see them, but because they want to see if you respect yourself enough to enforce them. When you say yes just to avoid conflict or disappointment, you're not being kind. You're being dishonest with yourself. You're betraying your needs, your limits, your worth. And that betrayal hurts more than any or no ever could. Every time you say yes out of guilt, pressure, or fear, you shrink a little. You lose a little more of yourself. And eventually, you find yourself tired, resentful, and burned out, all because you were afraid to say a two-letter word. Saying no is a powerful act. It says, I honor my time. I value my energy. I trust my instincts. It creates space for the right things, the right people, and the right opportunities to come into your life. It protects your mental and emotional well-being. It teaches others how to treat you. When you say no without guilt, you're teaching people that your worth isn't negotiable, that you are not available for things that compromise your peace. Some people won't like your boundaries, and that's okay. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. The ones who truly respect you will understand. The ones who benefit from your silence, your guilt, your people-pleasing. They are the ones who are trying to make you feel bad for putting yourself first. But you don't owe them your exhaustion. You don't owe them your constant availability. You owe yourself the honesty to say, this is not for me, and the courage to stand by it. Don't let the fear of losing people make you lose yourself. If someone walks away because you said no, they were only attached to your compliance, not your character. Real connections can handle boundaries. Real love respects your limits. You should never feel bad for choosing your peace, your rest, your healing, or your dreams. You don't have to explain your no. You don't need to justify your limits. A simple no is enough. And if someone needs a long to respect your boundary, they never respect you in the first place. People often mistake kindness for weakness. They think just because you're generous with your time, you'll always be available. Boy, but kindness without limits invites misuse. When you say yes all the time, people stop asking. They start expecting. And when expectations replace gratitude, What you offer begins to feel like an obligation instead of a gift. You need to understand that your time is your life. Every yes you give is a part of your life you'll never get back. So ask yourself, is this worth my time? Is this something I truly want to do? Will this serve my growth, or will it drain me? When you say no to others, you're saying yes to yourself. You're choosing alignment over approval. You're choosing authenticity over acceptance. You're choosing a life that honors your truth. You are not responsible for everyone's happiness. You are not required to solve every problem, to carry every burden, to show up for every request. If it costs your peace, it's too expensive. If it takes away from your purpose, it's not worth it. You are allowed to disappoint others in order to protect yourself. That's not selfish. That's survival. The truth is, people will use you as long as you let them. They'll keep taking as long as you keep giving. It's not always intentional, but that doesn't make it okay. You must learn to recognize when your kindness is being mistaken for a free pass. Saying no is your way of taking your power back. It's your way of saying, I matter too, so stop apologizing for having boundaries. Stop feeling guilty for protecting your space. Stop explaining yourself to people who don't honor your truth. The people who care for you will understand, and the ones who don't, let them go. You are not obligated to make everyone comfortable, especially at your own expense. Don't let them use you. Don't let the pressure to please silence your voice. You have the right to say no, boldly, calmly, without guilt, because saying no isn't just a rejection of someone else's request. It's a declaration of your self-respect, and that's something no one should ever take from you. You are not a tool. You are a force with purpose. Yet too often you're treated like something to be picked up when needed, used for a specific task, and then set aside until the next favor or crisis. People come into your life and see your kindness, your ability, your willingness to help, and instead of appreciating, they exploit. They treat you like a means to an end. But you were never born to be used. You were born to live fully, to grow boldly, and to move with intention. You are not here just to fix other people's messes or carry the weight of everyone else's responsibilities. You are not a backup plan, a convenience, or someone's emotional bandage. You are not an object that gets dusted off and called upon when life becomes hard for someone else. You are a force, capable, driven, full of fire and vision. And the moment you realize that, everything changes. When you let people use you, you're not being humble. You're forgetting who you are. You're giving away your power bit by bit, hoping that someone will finally see your work. But here's the truth. If you have to be used in order to be seen, that's not love. That's not friendship. That's control. And you weren't created to be controlled. You weren't created to be anyone's second choice, safety net, or easy solution. You're not here to serve the comfort of those who never serve you back. Every time you silence your needs, every time you say yes just to avoid tension, every time you allow yourself to be taken for granted, this piece of you fades. And slowly, without even realizing, you become the very thing they want. Reliable, agreeable, and easy to use. But deep inside, you start to feel it. The frustration, the burnout, the quiet resentment of giving too much and receiving too little. That's your inner force waking up. That's the part of you that remembers this life was meant for more than being someone's stepping stone. Your purpose is not to exist in the background of other people's lives, quietly fixing everything while you go unnoticed. You are meant to shine in your own right. You have dreams, ideas, and talents that deserve space to breathe. But they can't flourish in soil poisoned by exploitation. When you spend all your energy keeping others afloat, you drown yourself. When you pour endlessly into others and forget to refill your own soul, you run empty. And no one thanks a tool when it breaks. They just find another. Stop waiting for permission to protect your peace. Stop waiting for validation from people who only show up when they need something. You are not obligated to continue relationships that leave you feeling used. You don't need to stay in environments that only value what you can do, not who you are. You are allowed to walk away. You are allowed to say, this doesn't serve me anymore. And you are allowed to do it without guilt. You are not selfish for choosing yourself. You are not wrong for saying no. You are not cold for stepping away from those who abuse your kindness. You are strong for knowing your limits. You are powerful for recognizing your worth. And that is what makes you unstoppable. Because when you stop being a tool, you start becoming a force. Focused, fierce, and intentional. And here's the truth. A force doesn't beg to be seen. It moves. It grows. Speaks with presence. When you carry yourself with purpose, you attract the right people. People who respect your time, who celebrate your wins, who support your boundaries, and never ask you to shrink. These people don't use you. They uplift you. And that's what you deserve. You are not born to live a life of quiet sacrifice, constantly helping others chase their dreams while yours gather dust. You are not a silent helper in someone else's story. You are the main character in your own. Own that. Stand in that. Protect that. Because once you understand your value, you'll stop letting people treat you like you're disposable. You are not here to be used. You are here to build, to create, to inspire, to rise. You have a mind full of ideas, a heart full of love, and a spirit full of strength. That is your force. That is your gift. And when you channel it, things that matter, people who matter, and dreams that matter, you become unstoppable. So don't let them use you. Don't let them define you. Don't let them shrink you into something small, silent, and safe. You are not a tool. You are a force with purpose. And once you step into that truth, no one will ever use you again.